So the first year of high school.
Okay. I actually arrived here in 6e.
I arrived in Cours Molière 2 years ago, in première.
Last year in première.
Okay. Troisième.
I was before this in Paris for 5 years, and before this I was in Bretagne, which is in the west of France. I wanted to integrate an American school because of my will to pursue languages. I was very early on sensibilized with languages since my mom is Brazilian, my dad is French, and I wanted to pursue this idea and combine it with a still very good level in school and in languages, as well as particular attention on students each like one-on-one.
Okay.
And just before I was in École Primaire in Montreuil.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, great. So yes, all of your college and lycée.
Yeah, I did almost 8 years here.
Yep.
7 years. Which was in 2019. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, troisième, so the end of college, and you did 3 years of lycée.
Yep.
Okay.
3 years ago, which is in 2021, in second, so I'm pretty sure it's 11th grade.
Yep.
10th grade.
Yep.
In 2021, after the summer, and I came in première. So
Première.
equivalent of, I think, junior year or sophomore.
Well, what I did was, I've always been in Paris apart from 1 year in my life. I moved to London when I was a kid from 5 to 6. I did my CP there. And then I just did a couple of schools, a lot of different schools for primary school and all. Then I arrived in Cours Molière at 6e, and I've just been here ever since.
So when I arrived in Cours Molière 2 years ago, my level in English was okay, but was not so good, and I progressed a lot speaking with other people.
Definitely not actually.
I was very surprised because I wasn't bilingual before.
Till my second year here, I was not speaking a single word in English, and I think the fact that the teachers are helping us a lot helped me really to improve my English. As you can see right now, I'm fluently speaking this beautiful language, and I think yeah, I think it's actually I'm so lucky to speak English because right now everything is first in English and then in French. So I'm having I don't have to wait for informations.
I've always been in a French system, so it was very surprising. But at the same time, it was extremely interesting to discover new language and new culture. So yeah, it's interesting.
So you were mostly a French speaker, and then obviously your level of English was pretty good, but
Yeah.
it improved. It improved a bit at the school, do you think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
So I was bilingual when I arrived. My whole life I studied in English, and my family situation was that we spoke in French. So I was bilingual, but I had more of an education in English, so I only knew how to speak French properly, not really write dissertations and everything. So I had to adapt, but since it's a very international environment, it wasn't hard. And other people had the same situations as me, so I didn't feel alone in it, and I was comfortable enough to learn French.
Okay. Did you find that your classmates were helpful in learning another language? Students in your situation too?
Yes, I think so. Well, just for the fact that it made me feel better about not being the only one who was kind of behind in my French education, but also just because I could also speak French and English to basically everyone because everyone knew both languages, so I was comfortable to switch mid-conversation.
So basically when I arrived, I didn't speak neither French or English on a good level, so I improved a little bit because I want to think about it. Because I have a lot of friends in this school. For instance, my best friend Cici. So I trained my English and French.
Well, I was initially at a bilingual school before, but here it's way more international, so I was able to get along with English speakers much more easily compared to my old school, which had still majority French speakers. And it was a nice mix because even though like we learned all our classes in French, we still had some elements of like English vocabulary, English terms to help us understand English voice.
Okay. Thanks. What was the experience of that you learnt your French improved at Cours Molière? Was that difficult? Like, how did you find the experience of working in French so much?
It was intense.
Yep.
I was pretty used to it though.
Uh-huh.
So I was used to the French system, but here it was way more personal. So the workload was way more intense, but I think it was way more effective.
So I came here straight from the United States. I spent 4 years there, almost exactly, and that's where I learned English. I was in an American public school, and my parents really wanted me to, keep practicing my English so I could stay bilingual throughout my life, which is a great advantage, I think, in school and later in the workplace. So I think this school provides a perfect environment because we follow the program of the French national education. So of course most of the classes are in French, but we have more developed and interesting English classes, I think, especially the literary aspects. And also, a majority of my classmates are bilingual, and often their native language is English.
Yeah.
So that provides a lot of opportunity for interaction in different languages and a lot of shared experiences.
Well, I think my experience in Cours Molière, well, I mean, if I stayed here rather than moving, well, I mean, it says that, like, yeah, I genuinely enjoyed myself here. Like, that's why I stayed, because I did so many schools beforehand. But yeah, in terms of like international, all these kinds of things, I think my English mostly improved a lot from when I was in Cours Molière. Because I arrived, I had some level of English, right? Like, I was decent for like an 11-year-old. I was decent. But definitely being with people who are having English friends all the time and speaking English all the time, that's definitely something that helped me improve my English a lot. And for school in general, I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of school. I never have been. I've always been like really not wanting to go to school and all. But I think that's something that just changes with time. Like for now, like this year, tell me that has been the year that I've enjoyed the most in my life in school, like by a mile. I think a lot of people can tell as well from a lot of people have told me that they can sense that I genuinely now enjoy it. And I think it's mostly up to being with people that you genuinely like and having people around you, like friends. Like I wake up every day, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna see like all of these cool people all the time, you know. So it's just makes me really enjoy myself. It's mostly what it is.
I'm right now I'm in Université Sorbonne Paris Nord, and I'm doing medicine basically. And I just finished like my first year of pass. Well, it was actually kind of difficult, I ain't gonna lie, but I think I succeeded. I hope so. And thanks to all what I've acquired here in Cours Molière, I think I've I had the mental and also the spirit to achieve what I think I couldn't have done like before.
So for Parcoursup, we don't have the results yet, but I was able to take the list of the best university in political sciences and humanities and report it into Parcoursup in order to have the best result for myself. In the best scenario, I would be able to get in these universities. In the worst one, I already have other options in foreigner countries, as England. I asked for Sciences Po Paris and Sciences Po Reims. I also asked for Panthéon Sorbonne and Assas in order to do law. And as England, I was able to also to postulate for England, for the England side, to UK universities, and I was accepted in 4 of them. So UCL, it's a dual diploma between UCL and Sciences Po. Bristol University, London School of Economics, and I forgot one. UCL.
LSE?
Yeah, LSE, London
LSE,
School of Economics.
Oh, so yeah, LSE, UCL, Bristol, and
Which one's the last one?
was it a London one? Was it
They're all King's University. Yeah, King's University.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't really know because I was accepted in several countries, including Canada and the United Kingdom. And I've also been accepted for the oral of Sciences Po in France, but I still do not know if I got accepted. But my plan A would be Sciences Po in France,
Okay.
and then maybe Canada.
Okay, fantastic.
Currently I'm studying in data science, AI, artificial intelligence, and a little bit of economy, but it's like a small part. When I started, it was pretty difficult because I have to be present all the weeks, and sometimes during all the week, and sometimes even Saturdays.
Right, Saturdays too.
Oh,
Okay.
Saturdays, yeah, and yeah, the work was a bit more difficult for me. Everyone was in French because here I had a habit, like sometimes I can speak English with my classmates or something. But there it's just French. I don't know, yeah, it's been difficult in the beginning. Right now I'm more used to it. I have a lot of colleagues in my school, so yeah, it's better.
Okay, great.
So what I've done is because I want to do École de Commerce. That's what I've always wanted to do. So what I did was I did the Concours Sésame and Concours Accès. So I was lucky enough to get accepted into every school I wanted to for the concours. Absolutely every single one. So that's why I've been doing like orals every day for the past like 2-3 weeks. Because I've been just judging the schools and all and everything that like if I like them or not. So yeah, I have a lot of schools, different ones like Lycée, ISCA, like a lot of different schools. But what I'm doing right now is just my orals so that I can decide on the 30th, well, if I'm accepted, where I want to go. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is usually around like the third year for École de Commerce. Usually we travel around the third year, so I'm probably gonna spend 6 months to a year in the US. It's probably something I want to do because I think I have a good level in English, so I think it wouldn't be good if I didn't exploit it. I think it's a good idea for me to exploit it. And so, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. And I might do as well, like alternance and all these kinds of things in different countries. So, like see around the world, I think that's something that's very cool, especially since I've lived most of my life in Paris.
So I'm currently studying in political science in Sciences Po. I'm in Le Havre, which is a campus specialized on Asia, with a minor in Asia and Asia Pacific. And I'm basically studying, well, it is political science, but it's very, they call it pluridisciplinaire, so multiple disciplines. So each semester you have a couple subjects. We had constitutional law, sociology, and history last semester. And now we have economy, statistics, and political science. So it's really big mix. So you kind of you get introduced to, at a surface level, but still more in depth than you'd ever do in high school, to many subjects, and you kind of realize what you want to do. So I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do coming in. I did law, sociology, and economy, and I was able to see which ones I wanted to do more. I had more of I did a lot better in political science and sociology, but I do want to do something in economy later on.
Okay.
So I'm still going to choose to major in economy, even though it was tougher than the other subjects for me.
Sounds great.
So for next year, depending on how well I do, I suppose, my main plan, my plan A, so to speak, is to get accepted into a preparatory school for the Grandes Ecoles d'ingénieur, which is quite a rigorous admission process. But I hope that we succeed in that.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Well, I am accepted into a school in the Netherlands, which has a liberal arts and sciences program. So instead of going straight into choosing a major and then thus advancing your knowledge on the major, business, etc., you do a first year here general, and then on your second year you choose your major. I did this because the job market is also really intense, and so it's really competitive. And in the end, bachelors aren't as important nowadays, and everyone concerns themselves about masters. So the schools are like a gateway or like a quicker path to getting an MBA at a way better school.
Well, we have a good portion of the class that are French people who have mostly grown up in France, but who would like to expand their horizon, especially language-wise and culturally-wise. But also, I'd say probably majority of my class comes from Anglophone countries. So I think it provides a really rich environment because there are a lot of different experiences. You know, everybody has had a different life, often going through very interesting and specific experiences that I think provides us with a good outlook on the world and open-mindedness that we can't necessarily find in strictly French or English schools.
Well, definitely, yeah, it was super interesting actually, because as I'm like, you know, for example, my best friend, David, he's like Russian, so we kind of like exchanged our ideology kind of, you know, so I learned how to be open-minded, like way more. So yeah, I think it was pretty good actually. And since we're like in a class with like we're like 10 students maximum, so we kind of have like a big like family spirit, I would say.
10 students from 20 countries, maybe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This really allowed me to adapt properly to the French system because otherwise I would have been probably held back in a classroom with 30 students and not really being able to have like one-on-one conversations with teachers who can kind of adapt their teaching to each student individually. And so that helped, and then you get a lot closer with everyone if you're in a class of like 6 or 7 people. So we're able to kind of like bond more and just have a lot of common experiences. So I think overall it was a good experience, and I don't think I would have done it any other way because it really allowed me to be where I am now.
We have some people that are from the United States, Nigeria. We had someone who was from the Philippines. And I think that this ecosystem is extremely interesting because we can not only learn English, but also I think that we can learn from others and their experiences and their countries and help each other in different ways. It can be either in French or in English, or even in other languages, Italian, for example.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and we kind of find ourselves and kind of grow up together and help each other in a very international environment, which I think is extremely interesting to grow into.
It's pretty, it makes you open-minded because you talk to the people from other ethnics, which makes you a better person.
It helps me to improve my English a lot, and it's also to broaden my perspective for my future, because I was able to pursue wishes in the platform Parcoursup beyond France, so in England mostly.
I would definitely recommend it, especially I think it was something that really helped me get into my school. Because in Sciences Po, a lot of students have also done dual diploma, and it allows you, well, first off, it's an extra diploma, but it does require extra work, but it's not something that's going to be too overwhelming for you. I was able to manage it with adapting to the French system and doing that, and if you already have some strong points in English, then it should be very simple for you, and even if you don't, if you're more on the French side, then you'll struggle less in French, and you'll be able to spend more time for a dual diploma. And the subjects were really interesting, and it's very good on your resume, and it's also a good experience because you can also interact with people from around the world.
Okay. I think it was it's a super thing to do. There are no cons of doing this. I only had positive aspects actually, and the fact that I'm in bilingual school, I think it was way easier for me, because the English we're studying here helped me to succeed even in dual diploma. So right now I have two backs. Yeah, pretty cool.
It was interesting. I've learned the online classes and the Zooms and the online courses, the PowerPoints, it was kind of an extra workload on top of that. Though it was nice because I was able to put it in my applications and say that I attended to this online course. I do think it was a little bit easy, but I think also I have the fortunate opportunity to have parents who are very well informed, so I was able to understand quite quickly and quite easily the courses. But I think in general it was a very good course.
Did it for 3 years. It was extremely interesting because the subjects that we have are not really the same one as we have here. Well, for example, I had a chronology, which was very different and still very interesting. Well, it's time consuming, I would say, because there's a lot of essays and questions and things to do. But overall, I would say that it was a great experience. Well, first of all, it gives you another back or another diploma, which is very interesting. But more than that, I think that you can deepen your understanding of English, and even if it's time consuming, it's still interesting in the long run, I'd say.
Okay.
Well, I think, especially as someone who studied in the United States before coming here, it was first of all a good continuation of my education. But it also, I think, for people who do not have that experience, well, first of all, it's a very good academic advantage for your curriculum vitae for your applications there for schools. But it's also a very, very good opportunity to learn more about another culture and deepen your understanding of the world and also of the English language, as all the classes are, of course, in English.
I think it's family.
Open. Family.
Comfort, I don't know, it's a bit weird, but you do get very comfortable in this environment because it's the people you're around and like the administration, the staff, they make you, if you feel behind or anything, you can always talk to anyone, and it's really an atmosphere where you'll be able to bond with your friends, and it's also very diverse, but you'll always like kind of feel.
The class is pretty small, so and you come here every day, so this school becomes your second family. You spend it here, sometimes even more time you spend in the school than at home.
The easiest one would be international, I would say. Because when you are in the school, you hear different languages and stories. Fun, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like something like, because we feel like it's a family.
Yep.
Because we're not a lot of students, so the teachers and every people and staff, they all know you and kind of help you. So I would say family maybe.
Be open to the international side of the school, because I think it was really a strong point of my own dossier, which allowed me to enter in most of the university I wanted to get in. Speaking multiple languages, having a multicultural background is a big bonus for universities. Another one is practicing sports on the side or having a passion on the side. I was scared when I entered to not be able to deal with both school and sports, but it was really what helped me to find balance, because when I was in sports I was resting from school and vice versa. And also to be curious, to maybe talk with people, even though your project is not exactly defined. It's completely normal. Even in 12th grade, I don't know yet what I'm going to explore in 4 years, and this is totally normal. I'm letting myself I'm letting myself the choice to meet people or to be curious enough to find new things and maybe to change my mind at some point.
Yes, absolutely.
I guess dumb things like enjoy yourself, it's not gonna last forever.
Yeah.
But I think in reality you only acknowledge the luck that you have and what you have once you're gonna lose it. Like that's really hit me in Terminal. Like whenever I arrived in the school year, I was like, wow, like this is my last ever school year. Like I mean ever in like traditional education. Anyways, that really hit me. So I think if I had to give words of advice, I mean it would be enjoy yourself, but the problem is I wouldn't listen to that back in the day because I just didn't have the maturity and I wasn't who I am today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be like, honestly, it would really just be enjoy yourself, like have fun, like take in every moment. Like honestly, yeah, every day you're waking up and you're like, oh, I don't want to go to school and all, but like later in life you'll regret those moments. Like that's truly what it is. That's truly what I think.
Okay. Nice.